And have you ever noticed that every issue that predominantly affects men is self-inflicted? Men's loneliness issue, self-inflicted. Men deciding to themselves, self-inflicted. Men having lower custody rates of their children, self-inflicted once again. And despite these issues being self-inflicted, you still demand that women help you fix these issues. Women are not the root cause of men's issues, and it is entitled for you to act as if women need to help you fix the issues that you have going on in your own community. These men feel entitled to women's emotional labor and empathy whenever we're not getting the same in return. And the reason that women demand that men give a fuck about our issues is because men are the root cause of women's issues. Men are the root cause behind violence against women, sexual violence against women, femicide, etc. And unfortunately, since this violence is being inflicted upon women by men, we cannot just fix that ourselves. We need men to also be advocating for and helping women stop these issues. Your self-inflicted issues are not my battle to fight. You're a big boy, babe. Fight your battles yourself. And have you ever noticed that
People like this are a big part of the problem. People like this are the reason why we go back and forth a lot of the times on the streets of social media. People like this set us back so far. And a big reason for that is because she is somebody that is very well versed in playing this blame game. The victim Olympics is not helping anyone. Being the person that comes out and highlights the problem consistently all of the time is not helping. Blaming one sex for everything that's going on with another sex and then turn around and doing the other thing and doing the same thing vice versa doesn't make any sense. Men can't be responsible for all their own problems and then also be responsible for all of women's problems. It just doesn't make sense. It just cannot work like that. At the end of the day, both sexes contribute to the masses of the problems in this world. There is not one sex that is primarily responsible for all the problems that we have. It just can't function that way, because at the end of the day, it takes a man and a woman to make a child, and it takes a man and a woman to raise a child. So if one side has problems, guess what? The other side has problems as well, because we actually function well together. To actually have a functioning world, men and women have to function well together. And for the most part, we are functioning well. We've got some serious social issues at the moment. We've got some issues in terms of relationships. We've got some issues in terms of how we see things and how we discuss things. But fundamentally, the world is working well, even if it doesn't seem so to people on social media. Fundamentally, the world is working well, because if you step out of your house, you don't generally find yourself in a situation where you're, as soon as you step out your house, in danger, because otherwise people would stay at home. If you step out of your house, you don't generally find yourself having an argument every single day with another human being. Otherwise, people would stay at home. So fundamentally, we've got the core things down, but there are issues that we do need to discuss. But coming out and blaming the opposite sex for every single problem that you have and calling them a specific community is already making me feel like you don't have a grasp of how the world works. You cannot isolate yourself on one side and talk about you are the issue that we're having, when most people, most women nowadays are talking and saying that they don't interact with men. We would have it to be believed that most men and women do not like each other. Yet babies are getting born every single day. People are in relationships, people are getting married. So what she is discussing is not a true reflection of what's going on outside of that. Men are not the fundamental reason why women are having issues. That is a two-pronged affair. That is something that's happening predominantly because people are not getting into relationships based on a true reflection of what they want. People are not getting into relationship based on a sustainable building block. People are not getting in relationships based on things that benefit the other person. Everybody is in a case of me. What can I get from the other person? Rather than it being, I want to get into a relationship because of servitude. I want to get into a relationship because what we can build together. I want to get in a relationship because of what I can truly bring to the other person. The first thought is always, what can this person do for me? The first thought is always, what can I get from this situation? And that doesn't lead us to a good place. And we are not looking after each other predominantly in terms of how we are treating the opposite sex. Men are very guilty of not taking into account the way women feel within certain situations, and women are becoming more and more vile in the way that they think about men's needs. They're becoming more and more vocal in dismissing how men feel and even giving men the opportunity to have an opinion. That is not going to work. Coming out and vilifying men on your social media platform and then having to delete comments from the majority of people is not helping the situation. It's not allowing a platform for dialogue, but that is not her purpose. People like this, their purpose is not to come and actually fix anything. Their purpose is just to come out and throw some more fuel on the fire and watch it burn just for views. If you know somebody like this and this is how they approach the situation, you need to call them out. You need to turn around and say, hey, listen, this is not helping. What part of what she said helps anybody? Nothing she said has been in any way helpful. It's just turning around and saying women are the victims of the world and men are the ones that are causing all the things that are going wrong, which we know is it cannot be true. It fundamentally cannot be true. And if you break things down, you will understand that every young man is raised by a woman. So if it is fundamentally true that all the men in the world have an issue, then we need to go back and say women are predominantly the ones that are raising these young boys from a young age. Let's trace it back. Where are they losing your teachings? How come it's not sticking with them? The things that you're teaching your young boy that you gave birth to, right? Why is it not sticking with them? If the fathers are so absent, why is your fundamental teachings not sticking with these young boys and they're ending up turning into these men that end up doing all these nasty and bad things to you? We have to make sense of that. But would love to get the conversation started on this one. Keep it respectful. Love to hear your thoughts. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.